Good evening. Welcome to 2014. This is the most recent session of Senior Living in Alexandria. This is a monthly series, 30-minute segment that provides valuable information for seniors in Alexandria, family and friends. I'm joined this evening by the Executive Director of Senior Services of Alexandria, Mary Lee Anderson. Glad to see you again.
Hi, Jim.
And we have a special guest this evening. Seal Garrett is with us. She's the Executive Director at Home in Alexandria, AHA. And as I understand it, that's a grassroots, not-for-profit organization. It's fairly new to Alexandria. We're eager to learn that. That's for citizens 55 and older.
That's right.
And eager to learn a little bit about it. So tell us a little bit about yourself, how you wound up at AHA, and then give us some perspective on what AHA's concept is about, please.
Okay, thanks, Jim. Thanks for having me. I've been with AHA for a little less than a year. It's a wonderful organization that began just about 2.5 years ago, and we consider ourselves a village, and we're part of a larger nationwide movement, a village movement that has reacted largely to meet the demands of an aging population. You know, so many communities have seen their older citizens, you know, the number of older citizens double, you know, in the last 8 or 10 years, and you know, that's a trend that's continuing. So the first village was formed in Boston, and it's Beacon Hill Village, and it was a group of volunteers who came together, and they were looking for a way to systematically support and organize to help some of their older neighbors who wanted to remain in their homes, and they wanted to remain in the community that they loved so much, and they were a vital part of the community, and these neighbors banded together to help them. Well, then the idea really took off, so they expanded their geographic boundary, and then they became a nonprofit organization, and the movement just really took off. So now other villages are springing up, and we've followed the Beacon Hill model. And the concept really is that you have a nonprofit organization that serves members. We're a membership-based organization, so a member pays an annual fee. In exchange, they will get an unlimited number of requests for services filled, and those services are filled or carried out by volunteers, and we screen our volunteers and we train them to do certain jobs for our neighbors who are members, AHA members.
So it allows a senior to remain in their home with the environment they're accustomed to, and yet there's some services provided. Tell me, how has it taken off in the metro area, and how did it come to Alexandria?
Well, it was about 10 years ago that Beacon Hill Village formed, and fast forward now to 2013, there are almost 200 villages across the country. Interestingly, there are almost 30 here in the Washington metro area, almost 30 more in development, and Washington, D.C. has the largest number of villages of any metropolitan area around the country. You know, the great thing about it is there are villages who we can all exchange ideas. We can all share tips and strategies with one another on how to get through a particular issue, or if, you know, down the road from AHA here in Alexandria is Mount Vernon at Home, and they're a village that started a couple of years before we did. So we're always going to Mount Vernon and saying, I know you faced this when you were starting. How did you handle it? And then on the other end, there's a new village, Lake Barcroft Village. They're forming, and they call us a lot, and we're helping them. So it's really a wonderful peer group to exchange ideas with.
So you mentioned, okay, so I'm a senior, I'm able to live at home, I see the advantages of that emotionally, logically, that's where I'm used to being. But you talked about some services. What kinds of services come along with an AHA membership, please?
Well, the services really run the gamut, Jim. I would say the most sought after or requested service is for transportation. Folks need some help, and many of our members still do drive, but one of the particular challenges of living in Alexandria, as you know, can be parking. And so even if for members who do drive, they often prefer to have someone drive them to a doctor's appointment, to the grocery store. Often they'll need someone to run some errands. Maybe they're recovering from a sprained ankle or any number of issues, and they just can't get out. So they call AHA, and we will put a volunteer on the case. We'll have a volunteer pick up a prescription, or pick up their dry cleaning, or any number of errands.
And other services that you might offer in addition to transportation? That's a large one, but...
Well, you know, something that's really taken off is, you know, technical support at home. We've got our computers, we've got our iPads, DVRs, you know, that thing's not working, it's not recording my show, just any number of technical issues that, frankly, people of any age can struggle with. But we have some volunteers who are really good at that sort of thing.
Geeks for seniors.
Well, you know, it works.
Yeah.
Another thing that's really taken off lately is, you know, some of our members are at that point in their life when they're downsizing, they're trying to declutter, and you know, that's it can be a daunting task.
Sure.
So we have volunteers who are really good at that. You know, when you're looking at that closet and you don't even know where to begin. So we can come over with some hefty bags and help you sort out what's going to go to the consignment store, what's going to go to Goodwill, what's going to go to the trash dump, and we can load it in our trunks and off we go. So it's that sort of help.
It sounds like there's an open-ended list, and you will do what's needed appropriate to that person, and you'll find a way to satisfy that need. Does that sound about right? That's
right. We have volunteers who have any number of talents, and then we just match that up with the particular needs of the member.
I'm told there's social advantages. What are some of the social aspects to this relationship?
Thank you for bringing that up, because that's something that's been, it kind of came as a surprise to us. Maybe it shouldn't have been a surprise, but our social activities were just kind of an added bonus that we offered here and there. That has turned out to be really a key part of the AHA experience, the village experience for a lot of our members. We offer dinners out, lunches out, museum tours, movies. There's a neat group that just started a couple of months ago. It's about 12 or 15 people, and they get together and they exchange ideas on books they've read in the past month, movies they've seen, art exhibits they've gone to, and they share ideas. And that idea just kind of came up.
So these are members, seniors, that relate one to another in new relationships.
That's right. They've met one another through AHA. Maybe they just moved to the area a couple of years ago to be near an adult child or something, and they're starting over, and they don't have a social network that they've built up over the years. Others have been living in the area for a number of years. Yeah,
I imagine this is popular with family members to know that beyond their caregiving, there's another group of caregivers that are friends, members, volunteers.
They learn a lot from one another.
What are your challenges?
Well, I would say the number one challenge is finding volunteers. New volunteers, right.
Are you 24/7 in terms of, if I had a call at midnight that I need to go pick up a pharmacy, would AHA help me with that need?
Though our offices are not open all the time, our phones are open for up till about 9 o'clock. We have someone checking the phone line every hour or so. So not overnight, but for most of the daytime hours.
What's the financial model? Is there a cost? How are these? Sounds like you've got willing volunteers. That's a great thing, but is there some financial arrangement?
We can always use more volunteers. I want to be clear about that. That's always, I think for any nonprofit, that's a challenge. People are busy and whatnot, but there is a membership fee. We have a single membership fee for $550 annually. We have a household membership fee for $800 annually, and we also offer a Friends membership where the friend can take advantage of all the social opportunities and the activities. They may not be quite ready to need the practical help, but they want to join in on the community aspect and on the fellowship.
You had mentioned there was some training for volunteers.
That's right.
And dealing with perhaps how to deal with privacy issues, or what are the boundaries of the relationship. You go into those aspects of
That's right.
providing service.
It's been very pleasing to us that volunteers seem to understand the sensitivities of working with people in their own homes, and there's just great respect for that that level of information, that we just don't share that information.
Has it taken off in Alexandria? Are you feeling confident and good about the success you've had?
You know, we are very happy that we've grown at a steady basis. We're always, we want to grow at the right rate where we have enough volunteers to serve our members. That's always,
match those
of
up.
course, exactly.
Right.
But it's, more and more people are learning about us. Like any nonprofit, we don't have a big budget for promotion, so it's word of mouth, and it's you know, talking to folks like here, you know, our audience. It's a very big help for us to get the word out about AHA.
How do you relate to senior services?
Well, you know, we know senior services is a very well established institution here in our city, and I think all of us know that no one service can meet the need of every single person in the city. So I think we see ourselves as part of the greater nonprofit community, trying to make this, the experience of living in Alexandria a good experience, a safe experience, and we all really have the same goal. So we collaborate when it makes sense to do that, and we're often referring our members and our clients to one another, and we're all really trying to serve the same purpose, and just.
That's very intriguing. I know you're going to be part of Senior Services February speaker series about solutions to senior housing.
Right.
Mary Lee, can you get a little preview of what that's going to look like and
Sure.
some of the options at that
Absolutely.
February?
Yeah, we're really pleased to be working with AHA on this one because we think it's a natural fit between the two organizations. A lot of people in Alexandria, especially seniors, are struggling with housing issues, and where are they going to be living when they get older? If they have the support of AHA, they hopefully can stay in their home for a lot longer and be comfortable and safe there. If they don't have that, what are some other new innovative solutions that are out there for senior housing? So we're going to have some expert panelists that are going to come on February the 13th. We'll be over at Beatley Central Library, and we're actually going to have a new service that's provided by the Northern Virginia Resource Center for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing called CART, where there will be an interpreter who will actually transcribe the program as it's being delivered, and it'll be projected onto the wall, so those that are hard of hearing, and there's a lot of us who are seniors that have that issue, will be able to enjoy the program too. And we'll have experts from AARP, people that are involved in a new movement called little pod houses that if your zoning permits it, you can put in your backyard and give an independent feel for the senior who's living, yet they still are nice and nearby and can share meals with you and be looked after in an appropriate way. So there's some really fun things called the Golden Girl phenomena, where some seniors, usually women, are banding together and saying, let's all live together and share our resources and make life a little bit more interesting and meaningful as we get older. So we're going to talk about some fun, interesting things that we've both come across as we've been supporting our seniors.
It's great to hear some of the prospects for seniors for housing. So we're going to have to go to a break right now. We have the ever popular Chef Hans.
Oh, great.
Is going to do a little bit of cooking and demonstration. So we'll be right back, but please come back with us. But let's go see what Chef Hans is up to today.
Hi, it's Mary Ann, and I'm at my home away from home at the Inova Alexandria Hospital's kitchen with Chef Hans. So let's cook something today.
Great.
What are we going to make?
Well, I'm making today a simple fresh corn salad with some great black beans and again some flavoring agents, some tomatoes, some onion, a little salt, pepper, just to spice it up, and a little bit of fresh herbs. So again, I'm making a wonderful simple salad that everybody can make at home.
Oh, great. So let's get started.
Yeah. The first thing we've got, I've started off with some black beans. These are plain old black beans. You can do them any way. You can buy the canned black beans, or you can buy them dry and soak them overnight and cook them yourself. However, whatever is most comfortable. So we've got black beans that we soaked overnight. We cooked them till they're just barely tender. We don't want to cook them till they're soft or mushy or till making refried beans. So we've got the black beans. And then for this recipe, I've got about a pound of black beans. Then I get some fresh corn. This is fresh corn that's locally grown, and we've just roasted it in the oven. when I buy corn, I always go to the local farmer and I taste it right then and there off the ear. And I realized, you know what, corn is great just like it is. So I don't need to cook the heck out of it. So this corn, we roasted in the oven at about 400 degrees for about 10 minutes. And I would suggest this in a hot oven for just to release the flavor and release the sugars. So all we do is we take the fresh corn, we pull the husk back, pull a little bit of the silk off, and then we just cut it off the ear. Really, really simple. I always lay the corn down. Some people will do it this way.
You know what? I do it this way, but it's easier when you lay it down.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. It's a lot easier to control the knife.
Yeah.
So lay the corn down, and then a trick that my mother taught me is to take the corn, the back of the knife, and just scrape all that corn goodness off.
Oh, that's clever.
That way you get everything from the cob off. I like to make this salad with more corn than black beans. Just keep on cutting it down. Again, take it nice and easy. Roll the corn around, the cob around. So I take the corn. Let me just scoop it back off. Corn in the bowl. Then I've got a little bit of fresh tomato. Fresh diced tomato. And then for this recipe, I've got a cup of corn and a cup of the fresh tomato. I've got a little bit of fresh chopped parsley. And what's great, you can use cilantro, you can use scallion. I'd even put in a little bit of mint, works great.
Oh, wow.
If you like to use that to experiment. And for this recipe, I've got about a quarter cup of fresh herbs. I want to toss in a little bit of salt, about a teaspoon of salt. About a quarter cup of red wine vinegar. And about a quarter cup of olive oil. EVOO, as is everyone uses these days.
Oh, and olive oil is something that everyone is using more of because it's so healthy and so good for you.
Sure, it's got unsaturated fats.
Yeah.
It's got all the healthy oils, the healthy nutritionals, without any of the saturated fats and without any of the stuff that's not so good for you.
Yeah.
Can you just grab a spoon real quick?
Okay.
And at this point, all we need to do is just toss it together.
Oh, that's pretty.
Look at those wonderful colors and flavors.
Lovely.
And cooking, I think, is always about colors too.
Yeah.
I think I should have been a painter or an artist instead.
Well,
instead of being a cook, but I like cooking too.
Well, a chef is an artist, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I think so. Well, let's taste it, shall we?
Sure.
Okay.
Push it.
All righty. Shall I hold the bowl?
Hold the bowl, please. That's great. And if this sits for a while in the refrigerator, the flavors tend to combine and meld a little better.
So you would recommend, if you can, to put it in the refrigerator for a little bit?
Let it sit for an hour or so. It just, the flavors
so
tend to come together a little better.
Oh.
Try it and let me know what you
All
think.
right, I will. That's tasty.
That's simple and great.
Oh yes, that's wonderful.
Good day. I'm here with Nancy Van Gulik, and she's got exciting news about her organization. Nancy, tell us who you are and what your organization is, please.
Thanks, Jim. Well, I am Nancy Van Gulik. My company is Seniors Living Well, and it's our goal to help seniors who are in transition lessen the stress of that transition. We are basically the child that doesn't live here. You know, we help them. We are their son or their daughter. They can't be here to help them. And when I say transition, I mean moving from the big house that you've lived in for 40 years, and you're going to move to an assisted living or retirement community, or maybe just downsize into a smaller place. And the big house is just too much for you now. And so you're going to transition into a different lifestyle. So we will come in and help you dispose of your things in a lovely manner. If it's sending things to the kids, packing it up and sending it out. If it's downsizing in an estate sale. If it's just loading up some trash bags from the attic and taking them to the trash dump, we'll do that too. You know, you've got too much stuff to move to this new place. Everybody accumulates stuff. And so we'll help you downsize that. We'll help you find a real estate agent to sell your house if that's what you have to do. We'll certainly negotiate with moving companies to help you actually move the big move. And we will do a floor plan for you. Okay, we'll go measure your new place. What can you take with you? You can't take the big, huge sofa, you know, and all the furniture from the dining room is not probably going to fit where you're going. So we'll measure it. We'll do a floor plan for you. We'll help you color coordinate if you want to buy new drapes, that kind of stuff. So we'll prepare your new place for you. Our goal is to have it be stress-free. Moving is very, very overwhelming.
Yeah.
There's a National Association of Senior Move Managers.
Okay.
We are a member of that association.
Okay.
We're certified to be a move manager. And that's just what we do. We manage the whole move.
How did you get into this? How I know there's a need, but how'd you get identified with it?
You know, it started years and years ago when I moved my own mom.
Oh,
you know, and she had the big house and she was moving to a 2-bedroom apartment. And so I helped her move, I helped her find the place, I helped her downsize, I helped her feel good about where she was going, and definitely did the floor plan. She had a lot of furniture. And it evolved into in my church. I've helped some elderly people in my church find a place. And I remember one friend telling me that she had a mystery room, that she wasn't even sure what was in there. And she certainly wasn't going to let anybody else in there either, but she didn't know what to do with it all. She was moving to assisted living. And so we started little by little downsize and working with her family to help her downsize and dispose of the things that she couldn't take with her. We very much are in touch with the families. Often that's the call we get. Hi, my mom is going to have to move. We live in Ohio. We can't be there to help her. Can you help her? She's overwhelmed. She doesn't know what to do. Or the senior themselves, and they'll call and they'll say, holy cow, we've been in this house for 50 years. I don't know what to do with all this stuff. I have to move in 2 months. I have to sell the house. I have to do this. And it just becomes overwhelming. So we step in and help and do all the work.
You've got to have, it seems to be enormous practical knowledge. You got to know movers, and you got to know places that are receptive to goods and how to sell them and so forth. But I think there's also a caring component.
Oh, yes.
You have to, and I suspect everybody's a little bit different.
Yes.
Do you have to balance those off, or is there some struggles to deal with both sides of that?
It's a really good question. I do tell people we do a lot of hand-holding. Because it's emotional for the families. We are a third party we're not emotional towards this person, we're emotional about the whole process and what they have to do. We love them, we hold their hand, we listen to their stories, and we're interested in their stories. They're very interesting. So
I think they have to have a good deal of trust in you.
They do.
To do, which is really important, I think. Well, how have you worked with Senior Services?
Well, Senior Services has called us several times to go see some of the people that they're working with. Because, Jim, oftentimes people aren't ready to make the big move yet, but they realize that it's kind of unsafe where they're living, that it's too much stuff, there's too much clutter, they're going to fall. We work with the National Association or Northern Virginia Fall Prevention Council as well. So we'll go into their homes and we'll take a look and we'll think, you know, I know you want to stay here, let's declutter some of this stuff for you. Let's put in the bar rails. Let's put more lighting around the house. Let's make the home safe for you so that you can stay in your home. A lot of people want to stay. They're not ready to move yet, but they do need the decluttering. They need the safety, and we work with them. So Senior Services will call and say, we've got some folks we think you need to take a look at. Go see them and see if you can help them.
How else do you find clients? Word of mouth or reputation?
Yes,
or
we do
churches,
churches are big.
Are they?
We do a lot of seminars at churches.
Oh, okay.
Seminars for Senior Services will come out and talk about it, about downsizing and safety, and moving and the considerations for it and things like that. So churches are a big resource for us. Word of mouth is really one of the largest. And if we've helped somebody, they'll tell their friend we helped them, and then they'll call us.
Absolutely.
We work with all the retirement communities in the area, and there are many. We're on their vetted vendor list, and they give the people our brochure and our name and say, call these folks, they can help you. We know
enjoy it?
Oh my gosh, are you kidding? It's wonderful.
Is it fun?
It's really a lot of fun.
Fun isn't the right word.
It's hard work. It's a lot of hard work. But these
useful.
people are wonderful,
you
know, and so often you don't get to sit down and talk to senior citizens about their stories and about the war and about all the things they've done and places they've been, things they've seen, their families. I enjoy it a lot, and I miss my mom every time. You know, they say to me, "You're the daughter I never had," and I'll say, "You're my mom who's no longer here."
It's nice you were able to provide that service for
Yeah.
them. How do
It's
people
great
get
for
in
us.
touch with you? How do they find you?
Thanks for asking. We do have a website, which is www.seniourslivingwell.net. You can email us at info@seniourslivingwell.net. We have a phone number, of course, that's 703-329-1970.
Okay.
So there's lots of ways to get a hold of us. We're in the source guide, of course, under Move Management Companies. And there aren't many of us, but we're proud to do what we do.
There are a number of us that are now so-called baby boomers.
Yeah.
We need folks like you.
I know, right?
So,
I think I'm leading the charge in that group, but yes.
Right.
It's a wonderful service. We're happy to offer it, really.
Thank you very,
You're
very
quite
much.
welcome.
Pleased
Thanks.
to learn about that.
Yeah, thank you.
Mary Lee, before we wrap up, tell us about what upcoming events we might expect from Senior Services.
Well, we hope that a lot of people will be coming on Wednesday, February the 13th, to the event that we're co-sponsoring with AHA, talking about innovative housing solutions for seniors. That'll be at Beatley Central Library from 9:30 till noon. And all you have to do is call our office to register. That's 703-836-4414.
Okay. Well, that's a wrap up for this evening. We thank you very much for being here. I do want to give special acknowledgement for the generous support of Synergy Home Care. Mitch Opolsky has been very gracious in sponsoring these programs, and we thank him for helping bring this information to the seniors in Alexandria. Thank you all very much.